Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. And good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Jason Show for this Thursday. July 30th, 2020. I'm Jason Matheson. Hello, Coon Rapids. Hello, Anoka, Andover, Plymouth, Edina. Please say hello. I don't know why I'm doing this. And do we have an applause today, or is it Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? Let's see. It's an applause. Keep the applause going. Please welcome my sidekick sister, the lovely Kendall. Good morning, Kendall.
Good morning, Jason. I asked you this before the show, but I'm like, you're, halfway out of here. You're so close to vacation.
Yeah, I have if you're a regular viewer of the show, I usually do a 2-week little break in July. I moved it because of the COVID. So yeah, this is it. Now there's I will tell you,
yes.
we have a new show tomorrow. So, and by the way, you're watching us, if you're watching us live on the Fox 9 Plus, hello. But we do have a brand new show tomorrow. So no rerun. And then Kendall and a myriad of special guest stars. Cher, Charles Nelson Riley. We have, absolutely.
Yeah. Brittany's coming.
Filling in for me next week. So for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, I'm already mentally, I'm delighted to be here.
Right.
I'm delighted to be here, Tyler and Jeff and you, but I'm already, and then you know what I started thinking this morning? I did the radio show, and it hit me. My buddy Dawn, executive producer over there, Dawn, said, happy birthday. How does it feel to almost be 46?
And did you have a moment?
I had a fragrant moment. That's when it hit me. I had a Mariah Carey moment. I thought I had not recognized or acknowledged that I'm almost 46. Until that moment. I really haven't. And I love my birthday. If you know me, you know I love my birthday.
Right.
But I hadn't thought about it. And I have to admit, it feels a little weird. I don't know how I feel about 46 yet.
Well, I think 45 is such a pivotal year. It's any of those half-decade years. You're kind of like, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
What? No, I mean it.
Should I? I don't know. Can we?
Half a decade, 45, and then there's 40 and 50, and in the middle is 45. What do you... Why is this funny? You two stop.
I'm making a plan when I come back to get your replacement. There we go. There we go. Write that down. Anyway, I get what you mean, sweet. But for some reason, I didn't care about 45. I can't even remember what I did for my 45th birthday. And again, if you know me, I love my birthdays. I can't remember what I did.
I got you lightsaber ice chips. Or was that for Christmas? Those were pretty good, too.
I have no idea. That was for my birthday. Oh, no, the lightsaber ice cube thing, yeah. But I don't know what I did. But 46, you know why?
Why?
Because if I am that climber from The Price is Right, hooty, 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 I feel like I'm on the other side of the mountain. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm on the other side of the 40 mountain. That's why 46 is freaking me out. And then one of our viewers... ex-friend of mine, Phil Jones. He's from the Jason Show fan club.
Ex-friend?
Oh yeah, you'll find out why.
Oh.
He sent me a list of famous people who died at 46.
Phil!
Jeff, that's not funny. You don't laugh at that. Yeah, John F. Kennedy. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Really?
The wrestler Chyna died at 46, and Vlad the Impaler. He died at 46. So I don't know. I'm trying not to think about that.
Phil.
46 is going to be a great year, and it starts right now because it's thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
Yay!
Jeff. Who would I imagine that Jeff would be the fountain of positivity today, but he is. Let's get started. It's time for the hot dish. There. Very quiet.
I tapped.
It's fine. Don't do the Sheila Oliver applause. Yeah. It's official. The Emmys will be a virtual event. Producers sent a note to the nominees telling them they won't be expected at the Microsoft Theater. Wow, geez, I wonder why. Instead, they can expect a more relaxed, more entertaining, and more enjoyable experience from the comfort of their home or location of their choice. What, like a Raising Cane's chicken finger dining room? What do you mean? Producers are also hoping technology will give the show a glossier look than in early quarantine Zoom meetings. I don't know how they're going to do that, but okay. As for dress code, producers say, come as you are, but make an effort. Did that literally say that on the invite? Okay, I'm glad you're nominated, but make an effort. Make an effort. That's what Jeff says to the two of us every day. Make an effort. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Emmys are set for September 20th and will be hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. This is going to be, like the BET Awards were on a couple weeks ago. Was cool. Mm-hmm. Did really well in the ratings, and the producing of it was It looked professional. You know what I mean? It looked like, and I say professional because in this COVID world of TV production, you know, we're all doing Zoom. I mean, our show was done, you know, when you watch those home shows, all of them were done on iPhones. Can you believe that? I mean, every shot of those shows of our home shows were done on an iPhone.
Thank God for the ring light.
Thank you. I know. Can I tell you, wouldn't you have loved to own some stock in the ring light companies?
I know.
How many ring lights have been sold since March?
So many.
Everybody has a ring light. Everybody. Your mom, your dad, Aunt Sharon, everybody. I mean, you can't find them anywhere. They're pretty good. Ring lights are good.
I wanted to put in my order when it was like, it's back ordered until X, Y, and Z. I was like, need it in an emergency on TV.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They don't care. No. Next in the dish, one of the first studios in the country to successfully get back into production is Tyler Perry Studios in Georgia. Tyler set up what he calls Camp Quarantine, and he talked about this. This was a fascinating interview. He talked about it with Gayle King, talking about how he wants to keep everyone working and safe. Look.
I got to tell you, Gail, I being in the position I'm in, I had the option to go away and just sit and wait for a vaccine. But I had 360 employees or so on the shows who have bought houses and cars and are taking care of their families and who needed to work. So I had to do something. We got all of their guidelines. We got the state guidelines, the city guidelines, and then I went past everything that they were asking for one reason and one reason only, is realizing that black and brown people are the people who are dying the most from COVID. I knew that I had to go far, far beyond. And also having a crew member at the beginning of COVID coming into America who died, who was working on another show. I mean, we all knew him and knew him well. So I had to go beyond. And with me living right there with them side by side, I wanted to make sure that everybody was safe.
Yeah, restrictions at Camp Quarantine are really, really strict. Hi, Gail. Testing every 4 days. Everyone must live on campus and wear masks. Social distancing are strictly enforced, those rules. And it's worked. The first show wrapped, and they had no positive tests. He said something, you know, in the interview that just really struck me. And I've always been a fan of Tyler Perry, and I just think he's a good guy. I think he's just a good man. And he said it, I'm kind of paraphrasing. He said, I have a lot of people that depend on me and my company, you know, 350, I think, over 350, that have bought cars and houses and are putting their kids through education because of jobs with my production company. Right. I have an obligation to them to not only keep them employed, but at the same time keep them safe. So he worked really hard on that 30-page memorandum, or I don't think you call it a memorandum if it's 30 pages, but a plan. That's a good man right there.
I think so too. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, he whips things out very quickly. Like he can shoot an entire movie in 7 days. So to me, for him to get this all together really quickly, it's a surprise, but it's not a surprise because he's just so efficient like that.
Well, you know, like our company's here. Again, I'm not trying to blow smoke or give fake compliments, but both companies I work for, you know, Fox, did very well. I appreciated that's why we weren't in the building for weeks and weeks. And that's why, for example, when I come back from vacation, I will be quarantining for a couple weeks. I mean, it's just, and then at My Talk, it was literally me and one other person in that building for the early days of the pandemic. And I appreciated these steps that our employers took. I really did. I felt safe. I never felt unsafe to do the shows. Next on the dish, we're getting our first look at the new season, speaking of masks, of The Masked Singer. Well, not really. Fox released a teaser, which some think is filled with clues. Now, I'm going to look really closely. Everybody come to the TV. Let's look at this.
Coming soon, television's #1 show on television's #1 network is back with an all-new season.
This is The Masked Singer.
Who will be the major stars?
Oh my God!
What insanely creative costumes will there be?
My heart is just pumping out of my chest right now.
The clues are in your hands.
I know exactly who this is.
The Emmy-nominated Masked Singer, all-new season coming soon to Fox.
Okay, well, we're looking at it again. I don't know. It went by very fast, and I can't see from this distance. But Fox is really excited about the 4th season of The Masked Singer. Production is expected to start soon. It's going to debut in time for the fall season, which traditionally starts around September. I'm going to say it again to my lovely network. I love you. To all the bosses, I don't want them to just keep running these season after season. keep it special. You know, don't. I wish they would only do it once a year. You know, because that way people look forward to it. You get time to miss it. And in like season 1 and 2, we're so close to behind. I didn't miss it as much as I wanted to, because this is a great show. And right now, people are looking for stuff like that. That's why these shows do really well. Like, for instance, you know, Garth Brooks said something last night. He was like, I don't know if I'm going to release my new music because he doesn't want to seem tone deaf. I get that, but my goodness, I actually think the opposite. I think right now we need any type of distraction. I mean, you can equally, at the same time, simultaneously be concerned about everything going on in the world, but also need a break. You know, that's why Taylor Swift's album everybody's talking about. We just need a moment of a fragrant moment. We need it. That's right, a fragrant moment.
I just want to talk about those clues, Jason. There was an 11-11. There was a bumblebee. There was a Canadian maple leaf. The bumblebee had a crown. Did you catch anything else?
No.
Did you get anything out of any of it?
I said I can't. Oh, there's mushrooms. Ted said.
Yeah, there were mushrooms.
Mushrooms. I don't know. What is it? A Smurf? I don't know. The monitor's so far away. Again, 46 people. These are 46-year-old eyes. Yes.
I get what
little
you mean,
gay
though.
bat. That's me right here.
I agree.
I'm blind as a little gay bat. I can't see anything. Bat. I'm like a little. Yeah. Anyway.
I was gonna say I agree with you, but I can't follow.
I can't.
Gay bat,
I can see Tyler. There's Tyler. I can see Jeff, and I can see you. I can't. I can see the teleprompter sometimes, but I can't see the monitor anymore. Yeah.
I get that.
46-year-old eyes. Still ahead, everyone. Moving is the worst, right? Yeah. It is one of the worst things ever, especially if your movers are difficult. Why one daughter of a housewife has really frustrated her movers. Plus, Dax Holt joins us to talk about who he's had on his much buzzed about podcast recently, and they include a rock star and a former reality star. And then the men evangelists are back with some ideas to safely get you out of the house and exploring keyword safe. Stay right there, everybody. Go get some more cereal. We'll be back on the Fox 9 Plus right after this.
Guys, as you know, every week we like to bring you some uplifting, creative videos, whether they come from quarantine or just stuff around the country. It is time for What Are You Doing Wednesday?
What are you doing on Wednesday? What are you doing on Wednesday?
First up, this guy got so sunburnt that he actually learned a new quarantine party trick. Check this out.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. All right, everyone. Now a family photo. Everyone get together. Come on. Next up, this YouTuber caught her daughter on the nanny cam, and she wasn't sleeping exactly.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. Going back to light blue sky.
That's my kind of kid right there. Welcome back. Jimmy Fallon checking in on the funny things people are doing at their homes during quarantine. Yeah, that's my kid, yeah. Our hot dish continues right now with our Insider to the Stars. Please welcome back to the show the host of the podcast that everybody's talking about, Hollywood Raw. It's the great Dax Holt. Hello, buddy.
Hello, my friend. How are you today?
Good. I saw you, sometimes I forget that you're a real human that that has other gigs, and then I then I get jealous because you're our friend. And I passed a monitor a couple days ago, and I saw you all over like Fox News, and I thought, now is he cheating on us? Now what the hell is he doing on another show?
Oh, so funny. I couldn't believe the amount of texts I got off of that show. I mean, I've never done Fox News, and I did it, and it was like my phone blew up, and I was like, wow, I was very surprised. It was crazy, the reaction. But a lot of people, obviously, some people praised me, other people did not. But I was there to talk entertainment. I was like, listen, it has nothing to do with my political views. I was there to talk entertainment news.
Yes, exactly. Well, let's talk about your entertainment news. You interviewed Mark McGrath. What did he have to say?
Yeah, Mark McGrath was awesome. I have been a huge fan of Mark for years. I used to work with him back at Extra when I first got my internship and got into the entertainment industry. He was the one hosting Extra. So we had him on the podcast. He was amazing. He told us all about these stories of like when Sugar Ray was at the top of the charts. You know, they've had quite a few #1 songs, but what his life was like when, you know, you're the top band out there. And he said, you know, it was really cool. We asked him what his writer was, you know, because everyone always talks about these writers when you go on tour and the crazy things that you can ask for to get away with. And he said, you know what ours was? Fresh, clean underwear and socks. He goes, we loved it. You know, we're living in vans, we're touring around, so you never really get to like go buy stuff. He said, so when we would get to a new venue and they had fresh underwear for us, we were beyond excited for it. And then he would talk about these parties that he went to and partying with Madonna and the biggest stars in the entire world. And one thing we also got into was, you know, when you make all these #1 hit songs, like, what does that equal money-wise down the road? And he said, look,
good question.
He said, look, I'm gonna make people really upset with this. However, he said, I have been sitting here through quarantine and I do nothing and I still get 6 figures on all my royalties. And I'm like, oh man.
Oh.
He goes, but look, there was a lot of hard work behind that. That wasn't like it was just handed to us.
Yep, absolutely. You also talked to original Road Rules star. I remember this dude, Mark Long. What's he up to?
Mark is awesome. So I've known Mark for quite some time. So like you said, he did Road Rules back in the day, but then did a bunch of those MTV challenges for years. So everyone knows him. He's called the godfather of reality TV. But so we had him on. He is trying to put together his own show. And this show would be all our favorites from MTV, all the villains. He wants to get them into a house and he wants to like do a surreal life with our favorites from MTV all for the last like 2 decades. And he is. Yeah, I'm like, sign me up. You know, you get Johnny Bananas. Think about like The Miz. The Miz is a huge wrestler now. You put him in there. There's been a lot of people that have gone from MTV and have rocket launched their careers. Kit Hoover from Access Hollywood, she was back on Road Rules with him. So there's a lot of people that if you could get them under one roof, that could be a massive, massive show for him.
I want them to do, and Dax, I'm older than you are, but I think you'll still remember, and obviously because you've been in the entertainment news business, I want them to reunite the people from the early seasons of Real World, like from Seattle and Hawaii. And
that's what he wants to do. He wants to grab like these people that we've like
just
forgotten
villains.
about.
Okay. Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah. It's not just like the people that have been on the challenge and like more recent. He's dipping way back into time and finding these people that everyone like fell in love with that season and they kind of just disappeared. He's like, there's a nostalgia factor here that could really interest people. And you know what he also told us? A lot of really steamy secrets of like what happened while they were filming these shows. It's really good. He had fascinating stories.
Now the teleprompter is telling me that you have an announcement.
Yes.
I'm scared. I honestly don't know what you're going to say. What's the announcement?
The announcement, I haven't told anyone who's coming on for Monday's podcast episode. But we just locked down Brian Austin Green. So he is sitting down with us tomorrow. And that episode will go out Monday. So I highly suggest you go to iTunes or Spotify or Stitcher or whatever, subscribe to the podcast so that when we post it, you are the first one to go ahead and download it and listen to it. It's going to be a really good one. I mean, he's been all over the news recently. Obviously, his relationship with Meghan and his relationship with some of these other like stars that are out there. So it's going to be a fascinating chit-chat with him for sure. Hey,
Dax, before you go, because I always like to mine, speaking of your expertise and how long you've been in the entertainment news business, we were just reading yet another headline about Ellen DeGeneres, all of these stories coming out about Ellen. Let me just ask you a generic story. All of your time with Extra and TMZ, did you ever hear murmurs of her not being as pleasant as the image would make you seem, would make you believe? Okay, that's it. Thanks, Dax. That's all you have to say. Dax Holt's podcast is Hollywood Raw, everybody. I love you so much, Dax. Live from your extra bedroom, it's the great Dax Holt, Hollywood Raw, where you find your podcast. Dax is my favorite human being on the earth. Next in the dish, if you thought some of the Real Housewives are out of their mind, well, can you imagine what their kids are like? The daughter of Real Housewives star Ramona Singer got really angry with her movers yesterday. I can't believe this. The 25-year-old is moving in New York City and didn't understand why the FedEx guy wouldn't pack up her belongings. This is from her Insta story yesterday. And according to bystanders, she apparently took her things to the FedEx shop. And when they refused to pack them for her, she wouldn't take no for an answer, saying they could bill her. She eventually left her stuff scattered across the store for the workers to deal with. Page Six reached out to Avery and said that a lot of that is untrue and extremely exaggerated. Okay, here's what I'll say about this, because I am a Real Housewives of New York expert. You guys know this.
Yes.
I have watched 11 years of her mother exhibiting behavior just like this. Apple tree. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility is what I'm trying to say. When you watch your mother, because every trip, let me give you an example. Jeff knows what I'm going to say. Every Housewives trip, they always do these big trips.
Yeah.
Ramona acts like a spoiled brat. Whenever there are staff in the house, she makes them unpack her luggage for her and hang up her clothes. And she treats them. She allegedly tips well. She always says that to save face. But she treats the staff during these trips so horribly. Bethany has called her out on it a few times. It doesn't surprise me that Avery, and I'm going to say, she says it didn't happen, but if she did, wouldn't shock me at all.
It just bothers me to no end that incredibly wealthy people like that get to act like that, and they're literally like, just bill me. No one in their right mind gets to act like that, but they somehow do because they genuinely have all this money, and it's so disgusting.
It's gross. It's really gross. Those people aren't any better than you are. I don't care what your bank account is compared to them. They're human beings like you.
And Avery, you didn't earn that money.
Exactly.
So
Let's be clear. Next, as George Lucas once said, "I'm rich, not you," to his kids. I love that. He did. He looked at his kids. He goes, "I'm rich, not you there, Sparky." Next in the dish, let's talk emojis. If you use them, odds are you have a few go-to emojis that you use over and over. I always use the heart when I text Jeff, but every year new emojis are added, and a new list of from Emojipedia, that's a real thing, everybody, names the most popular new emojis. Let's see a few of them. First up, let's look at this. The 5th most popular new emoji is the pinching hand.
That's what that is?
That's what that is?
I didn't know that either.
Why? Why would people what would you use that for?
It's so creepy. That's like back in the day when you could poke people on Facebook.
Or like in the 80s, we used to do this. I'm pinching your face. Yeah, anyway. 4th most popular, the otter. I didn't even know. Now, that's cute, even though otters are extremely mean creatures in real life. But I didn't even know there was an otter emoji.
I didn't either.
Okay. 3rd on the list, the brown heart. It stands for strong, sweet love that stands the test of time.
I just thought it was a brown heart.
I didn't know that either. And hold on a minute. The second most popular new emoji, the yawning face. That's actually what Jeff sends me during most of the show. Yeah. And the most popular new emoji, according to Emojipedia, the white heart. It supposedly means true love. Oh, hold on a minute, everyone. I just received a text message from Jeff Orchid. Oh, it's an otter, everybody. He just sent me a little otter right there. That is fantastic.
Doesn't come up in many conversations. Otter.
Do you? Is there one that you use a lot? It's like a go-to?
My go-to is this one.
Oh, the
face palm
crap one. Yeah, because you can see the ones you use a lot. I use the thumbs up a lot. I use the guy that goes like this. I don't know.
Yeah, I use that one, and I also use the one with the squiggly mouth that's like.
Yeah, and then there's a little kissy face.
Yeah, the kissy face.
The kissy face. I send to my mom. I send that one
and
to her.
Me.
Yeah, I send that one to you. Yeah. Still ahead, everybody. We're talking. Oh, Siri's talking to me. No, it's Siri. Stop. Still ahead. We're talking about some socially distant activities you can do in the area that you may not have done just yet. We'll be back with the mini evangelist right after this. Welcome back. Well, we're all probably going just a little stir crazy right now. We've done all the socially distanced things we can think of, and we're just running out of ideas. I can only play Animal Crossing so many times. Well, help is on the way. Here with some of their own socially distanced activities to do in the area. Please welcome the mini evangelists. Welcome back to the show, Ashley and Andrew. Hi, guys.
For having us.
How are you?
Good. Well, welcome back. For people that might have missed an appearance before, explain what the Minivangelists are all about.
It's all about loving Minnesota and looking for awesome things to do here. We moved here we've been on the East Coast for a really long time, and we moved here in February 2018. And we started a website called Minivangelists, which is just about evangelizing the awesomeness of Minnesota. And so that's what we set out to do, find really cool things and remind people of all the stuff that's here that maybe they haven't done before or have put off.
Let me just acknowledge before we go any farther, that's a beautiful plant behind you. That is a giant, that is a well taken care of.
Very strategically placed.
I'm trying to trick you into thinking we're in like Barbados or something.
Oh, no, it works. It works. I totally think we are. Well, let's get started. We're going to do first some socially distanced activities and lovable llamas. Tell me about that.
It's lovable with 2 L's too.
Yeah, it's lovable with 2 L's. So this is Carlson's Lovable Llamas, and it's in Waconia. If you have ever been to the Minnesota Zoo where they have the llama trek, this is the llama farm that those llamas come from. And you can go out there. It's about a 10-acre farm with about 60 llamas. They do birthday parties. They do llama yoga. But you can just go out there for a tour. And on a tour, it takes about an hour. You walk around the property. You meet this Evan Carlson, who's a second-generation llama farmer. And you get to feed the llamas and brush them. And then you get to take them on a long walk, maybe 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah. And hopefully you don't end up with a stubborn llama like I did. Mine just like did not.
He got one that like would not move. Mine was moving perfectly fast, so I think it was the llama handler was the problem.
I love nothing worse than a stubborn llama, right, Andrew?
And llamas are super gentle and friendly, and it's a great activity with kids.
Also to note, you can rent the llamas at your backyard if you'd like to have your own socially distant gathering at your house. You could have a llama at your house.
Yeah.
Well, I need to talk to the bosses. I may rent one for the show. That'll be great.
There you go.
This has been making news, this concept, or it's kind of a resurgence of drive-in theaters, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And because I'm nuts, I made him go 5.5 hours about 2 weekends ago to see Jurassic Park at Skyview Drive-In Theater in Warren, Minnesota, which is kind of near East Grand Forks.
Right. Going past like Fargo and that.
Yeah, we went all the way out there to see Jurassic Park. It was really fun. You just turn the car around and you face this screen and you can get concessions or you can bring your own food and drink. You can stay within your vehicle, within your own family group. And it's just like a lovely way to be outside as the sun is setting and to watch, kind of nostalgic old school films. But there's also drive-ins that are much closer. You don't have to go as far as we did. There's Valley High and Lake Elmo, and the Elko Speedway and Drive-In, and Elko New Market, and then Starlight Drive-In in Litchfield. Those are all closer to the Twin Cities.
I've had a few friends do this, and I will offer this suggestion. If you're going on a busy night, like a Saturday, I've heard you get there early because the cars start lining up like Field of Dreams. So plan accordingly on that one.
I think that's a good thing about the one we went to as well. It's more of like a small town feel, so I think they get a little less cars than the ones that are closer to the Twin Cities. Not everybody's as crazy as us to drive 5 hours.
I love that you guys did that. Okay, let's talk about Rush River Produce. What's this place about?
So this is just the cutest family-run farm. It's 9 acres. It's a blueberry farm in Maiden Rock, Wisconsin. It's about 3 miles off the Great River Road. It's a beautiful drive out along there in sort of bluff country. And it's just this family, Terry and John Cuddy. They've been planting blueberries on their farm for, I think, since 1987.
Mm-hmm.
She said that this is the busiest season they've ever had in 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a you-pick blueberry farm. I think we picked, how much? Maybe 5 pounds, almost 5 pounds.
Too many. We're still going through it right now.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what to do with all of them. I feel like the Willy Wonka girl that has to be rolled out as a blueberry.
Yes.
It's just a beautiful, it overlooks, the property overlooks Lake Pepin and the Mississippi River Valley. You can bring a picnic lunch. You can be outside. You can pick your own blueberries. I think they also have currants and gooseberries sometimes. But the tip, because they have been so busy this summer, is to go on a Thursday if you can in the morning, because by Friday, Saturday, some of the bushes can get picked over.
Yeah, word has gone out a little bit.
Yeah. Let's do one more here in this category. Big Stone Mini Golf and Sculpture Garden.
So it's kind of exactly what it sounds like. It was founded by Bruce Stillman, who's a well-known sculptor, and he took a 17-acre dairy farm and he turned it into an outdoor sculpture park and miniature golf course. And he's up to 14 holes, and they're all kind of arty and weird. It was inspired by the movie Overboard, if you remember, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. And they're really difficult. Either that or we're just really bad.
No, they're pretty difficult. Because everyone, the hardest hole is the first one. It's like they're testing to see if your level of patience. I think.
It took us like 15 putts to get the first hole done. But it's another huge spread out place. Bring a picnic lunch. We stopped at Grocer's Table in Wazada before going out there, and it's just a lovely way to be outside.
The sculptures alone are worth going out there because it's a huge park that has all of that. So,
well, hang tight. We're going to talk hidden gem restaurants with Ashley and Andrew when we come back. Back in a moment, everyone. Welcome back. Our mailbag coming up in just a little bit, but right now we're back with the mini evangelist, Ashley and Andrew, and their beautiful plant. And we're talking about now some 5 hidden gem restaurants in the area. And let's start with Scoops Ice Cream.
Yes, 2 Scoops Ice Cream. So we are ice cream crazy, from Baby Zito to Izzy's, all the custard in Wisconsin. And this is a new place we're excited about. It's a new Black-owned ice cream shop in Rondo in St. Paul. And it was founded by Brian White Jr. and his parents. And it is so creamy. Like, I am not into ice cream that is more ice than cream. And this stuff is just incredibly delicious. And he does really classic flavors like salted caramel or espresso Oreo, but then he does kind of weird stuff too, like black licorice. And he started this program called 2 Scoops for Kids. You can donate money near the register, but they're basically handing out free ice cream to kids in the neighborhood, which is a really sweet program. I think they've given out over 1,000 cones.
Oh, that's nice. I've never been there. I'm going to mark that on my list. That's in St. Paul, everyone. Next, is it Meseret? What is it?
Meseret, yep. Ethiopian restaurant. So this is like this tiny one-woman show on Minnehaha Avenue. This woman does all the cooking, the serving, the phone answering. Her name's Meseret Asfa, and she used to run an African grocery store, and then she switched over to cooking last year. We're big fans of Ethiopian food, and hers is just like
probably the best we've had.
It's like next level. It is so good, the spicing and the flavor. And she also does breakfast, which is really interesting. You can go there for fava beans or like scrambled eggs with tomato and injera, which is the Ethiopian flatbread. It's just a great little hole-in-the-wall spot.
Next, we're going to stay in Minneapolis, the Curry Diva.
Yes, so this is a long-running, it's a weekly Sri Lankan pop-up restaurant run by Heather Jan. She's a Colombo native, and for right now, she switched over to curbside pickup, and you can do $16 or $19 vegetarian versus meat, and you just get this hefty takeout container of Sri Lankan staples. And
changes every week according to the farmer's market and stuff.
And it's super seasonal, really flavorful. And if you've never had Sri Lankan food, you are missing out, and this is a great place to start.
Okay, next we're going to go to Minnetonka. I love a good empanada, and you have the perfect place.
We do. It's called Del Sur Empanadas. Just very classic, casual Argentinian spot. It's the perfect food to get to go. It's perfect if you are having like a socially distanced friend gathering in the backyard. You could pick up a ton of these and everyone can share and have their own thing. And they also make great lamitos, which is a type of filet mignon sandwich.
Oh,
yeah, I'd go there just for the sandwich. The sandwich is awesome.
Yeah, I could eat that picture. I was staring at that picture of that empanada. Finally,
make sure you get it with an egg.
Get it with what, Andrew? I'm sorry?
Get it with an egg for sure, too.
Finally, let's do some pizza, Red Barn Pizza.
Yeah, it's a Red Barn pizza farm. So if you've been to a pizza farm before, it's a regular working farm that 1 or 2 nights a week fires up a pizza oven and invites people to come dine on the property. And Red Barn is one of our favorites. It's in Northfield. You do need reservations this year because of COVID, but that actually makes it better because now you don't have to wait 2 hours for their pizza. Yeah. You just show up at your designated time, bring your picnic blankets and your own kind of utensils and stuff, and you order a huge pie and you can share it with family outdoors on their beautiful farm.
That is the picture there. that property looks stunning.
They hold a lot of weddings, as you can imagine.
Yeah, and it's a ton of space, so you can really spread out with your family and not have to
keep away from all the humans.
Yep.
Well, Ashley, Andrew, thank you guys so much, and we appreciate it, and good to see you again. Follow her on the social media, on the Instagram, to search for Minivangelist, or minivangelist.com is their website. Speaking of social media, we're opening up the Jason Show mailbag when we come back. Back after this. Back at the desk. Welcome back, everybody. Well, I've said it a few times since we've been back in the studio, since we don't have a studio audience right now. We love interacting with all of you on social media. So, go ahead and cue it up. It's time for the Jason Show mailbag. Let's open it up. You've got mail. Yeah. Well, we're getting a lot of reaction to producer. It was funny. Let me tell you before we could begin. Jeff and Ted come into the radio room for our meeting today. To tell me kind of what's going. We're socially distanced, believe me. Are you kidding me? Jeff opens up the door with one of those things you pick up coins with. He just opens the door. But anyway, so they're telling me what's on the show, and Jeff goes, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And we have mailbag, but none of the mail's about you today. It's all about me and Ted and Kendall. And I said, that's fine. I don't need any more attention. Anyway, so a lot of people had reaction to producer Ted's most recent Hallmark movie review. On Tuesday, Ted reviewed Christmas at Holly Lodge, starring the great Allison Sweeney. He gave it a rare half-crown rating. Well, Sue, hey girl, wrote in to say, totally disagree, Ted, exclamation point. There is so much about the movie that was never brought up. The little girl waiting to hear from her father, stationed overseas, the stories about the people who were at the inn for Christmas. Did you even really watch the movie, Ted?
Oh, girl.
Wow, Sue calling out Ted. But Janet agrees with our dear Ted, saying, I agree, this was a bad movie. But blame it on the terrible writers and production, not Allison Sweeney. She is a good actress. Well, now, Ted does point out Allison Sweeney was an executive producer on the movie. Yeah. Now, I will tell you, I don't want to throw shade, but this isn't the first time that Ted's Hallmark Christmas reviews has been rocked by potential scandal. There's been more than a few ladies that have questioned whether or not Ted really does watch the movie. And I'm not throwing shade. And I'm not throwing shade at Ted, nor am I saying that he doesn't watch these movies. I personally believe he does.
He does. I watch the movies and I watch The Bachelor, so he and I talk about it off camera all the time. He really does.
Next, Nakara. Hi, Nakara. That's a beautiful name. I hope I'm saying that right. She says, a sign I watch your show too much, Jason. The Bachelor was on in the background, and I asked my nine-year-old why she was watching it, and she said, because Ted watches it. A little freaked out, I asked, who's Ted? And she said, Mommy, you know, from your favorite show. Oh, Ted now has a little girl fan.
I know.
He already has that lady, the lady that always goes, hi, sweet Ted. That's my favorite. Hi, sweet Ted.
Can you imagine though, the mom, and she's like, who's Ted? Do you have an invisible friend that I don't know about?
Is it an imaginary friend that's living under the bed? Or, you know. Next up, a comment from Felice that we've heard before. Hi, Jason. My dad thinks that Kendall is moonlighting as boss lady on the Fox show called Tag. What do you think? Well, I don't know. Here she is. Here's Kendall's older sister. Okay. Oh, my goodness. You know what? Kendall. What? She does look like you. Do you not think so?
No, I've been getting this so much lately, and since we work for the same network, it makes sense people think that.
Okay.
But I'm definitely not as strong as she is.
Well, let's see. Look at her. Okay, let's see a side by side. Okay, there's her.
Do I have to do that?
Yeah, do that. No, look in the camera, goofball.
Okay, I'm looking.
No, do your arm like that.
I'm trying to be.
No, do your arm like that. Okay, now look at the camera like that. Now smile.
She's not smiling.
That is you. That is totally you. Anyway.
My muscles are. Oh, there we are.
There you are.
Me, really. It's really me. I work out.
That is thanks to Photojournalist and editor Rob King.
Thanks,
Bringing
Rob.
it to us all the way from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Hi, Fernando. Next up, a comment from Mark. He says, just a shout out to Jason. See, you lied, Jeff. There's one email box. I love watching his show from Los Angeles. Also, Let's see, why couldn't it just end there? Ted, why didn't the script just end there? I love watching the show from Los Angeles. Also, I am in awe of executive producer Jeff.
In awe.
Said by no one ever. I'm just joking. He's like my brother. I can say that.
Just dying over
He's dying,
here
I know.
laughing so
Because at
hard.
first that script looked good. It was like, oh, Jason, I like
it is
watching the
about
show.
me.
Yeah, and then boom. Finally, a comment from Linda. Hi, Linda. She said some golfing buddies at the Wyndham Country Club were doing pull tabs, and someone shouted, "That's quite a pile of cardboard crack over there." Have you ever heard that term? Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Cardboard crack?
Yeah, I've heard
Really?
that. But it's like I call them like Frito-Lays. You just can't eat one. You
like
you
the
just can't
Pringles.
stop.
Once you pop,
They're
you just
potato
can't
chips
stop.
for me. Just once you start, you just can't stop.
It's true.
Yeah, because I mean, you then you start chasing your money. You put in 20 and you're like, oh, I can win that 250. So you do 40, then you do 60, and then it's like, okay, then you're just, you're in a deficit.
You'd be so proud of me. I just played pull tabs for the first time in years because I was like, I'm gonna have Jason Juju. Like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I lost $20, but it all went to St. Louis Park Youth Hockey.
Yeah,
so
they all
it's
do.
fine.
Most of them go to charity, and that's why I like it too. So yeah, keep the comments coming. You can find us on social media, and who knows, your question or comment about Jeff or Ted or Kendall could end up right here on the show. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay with us. I'm in awe of that Jeff. He's amazing. I'm going to tell you what just happened. So it's just, Kendall's 6 feet away from me, but her position's right over here, and we're talking, and I'm talking about floor director Tyler's cool shoes, and Kendall's over here just looking at the internet, and all of a sudden the music comes back on. She's like, oh, I'm not in this segment. And she goes sprinting like a gazelle across the studio. You didn't fall, did you? No, you're good? Okay, yeah. You're on the next segment, Kendall. Well, welcome back. I mentioned a few minutes ago the Jason Show Mailbag. You can stay connected with our show on social media. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for Jason Show TV. And again, we're always looking for interesting stories, funny videos. If something, you saw the video earlier, the little girl spinning on a chandelier. If you have something funny, send it our way. We would love to show it here on the show. We're going to take a break, and Kendall, get ready, because you are in the next segment. I promise. We'll be right back, everybody. Back in a moment to wrap things up. Come on, Kendall. You can come back now. Oh, here we are. My last live show at the age of 45. Wrapping things up. That's right. Take a good look at 45. You won't. Well, you'll see it again tomorrow, and then there we go, and that's it. Yeah, tomorrow's 45, and then it'll be it. Phil Jones, a member, he's a moderator of the Jason Show fan club group on Facebook. He's the one that sent me the list of notable people, celebrities or famous people that die at 46.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
He made a fake graphic that said, "Watch the finale of the Jason Show tomorrow." Phil, what are you doing? You're jinxing me, dude. You're jinxing me. Anyway, people are also saying that your outfit reminds them of Bring It On, of the cheerleading outfits in Bring It On. We're getting a lot of
the thing.
Yeah.
The V thing.
I love that. That is, I usually start the show with a compliment. I will end it. This is one of my favorite Kendall ensembles.
Thank you. I got it in Nashville at some old 60s shop.
Yeah. Take this as a compliment. You know what it reminds me of?
Huh.
You look like a classic vintage.
Flight attendant?
Yes, from TWA.
Totally.
I'm waiting for you to give me a hot cloth and some lobster Florentine. Yeah.
I'd be happy to.
Again, when we could fly without masks, and and by the way, I am flying. I will tell you all these stories when I come back.
I'm so excited.
Yes, and then I will be quarantining on the other side of the vacation. So thanks for everyone's concern. Don't worry about it. To keep everyone safe here and my family, I'm quarantining when I come back. But it'll be very curious to bring you guys the stories of what it's like, what it really is like. And I'll be critical of what the whole thing is like, what's flying like, what's being out like. I'll let you know when I come back in a few weeks. But right now, that's going to do it for us. Thanks, guys, for watching this week. Thanks for watching last week. And thank you to Kendall, who will be filling in with a myriad of people. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.